Shalom, 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 Israel. This is Captain Paul Israel from Kingdom Builders of Israel LLC. And before we get into this class lesson concerning modern Hebrew women prefer to being single class lesson, before we get to that lesson, we're just going to bring out some facts and information that we do have society in general of today is programming our Hebrew women of today to be more masculine, more prone to be independent of the Hebrew man. So this video is going to go into the basis of bringing this information out so our sisters can now know how to get a Hebrew man, okay, how to cater to the man so we could become one as a family versus seeing at odds with one another, okay, as male and female. Okay, so we're going to go into the understanding that, of course, in general, men prefer their women to be natural, meaning natural hair, natural nails, natural eyelids, everything natural. This is what men have been wanting since day one. But society is programming our sisters to be at odds as being basically natural. Okay, so this is just going to be a quick history lesson. And also, as Hebrew Israelite women, we're supposed to follow Hebrew Israelite customs. Okay, so we are holy people, which separates us from the other nations. So we shouldn't be trying to put other nations' hair or other nation products on our hair or anything that can deviate from our natural form. Okay, so also we go through the history of, let's go to Wikipedia on artificial hair integrations. This is on Wikipedia. Okay, this is a little brief summary of the history of artificial hair integrations. Okay, proving that this is something that's prone for the other nations to be doing. This is not a Hebrew custom, but this is something that we're basically taught in America. So our sisters have been programmed in just the world in general to be a certain way, to act a certain way, all because it's being pushed in the media and also it's been pushed by other women in the world. So Hebrew men that's teaching this Hebrew truth are now teaching this truth so our sisters can now be edified on how to carry themselves to get the right results, okay, as far as a successful marriage and getting with the right type of guy. Okay, this is artificial hair integrations. It says more commonly known as hair extensions or hair weaves. Add length and fullness to human hair. So again, hair extensions or hair weaves add length or fullness of hair to actual real human hair. Okay, it says hair extensions are usually clipped, glued, or sewn on natural hair by incorporating additional human or synthetic hair. It says these methods include tape-in extensions, clip-in or clip-on extensions, fusion method, weaving method, and wigs. So again, Israel, these are the things that our sisters have become basically doing on a day-by-day basis. Okay, putting fake hair products on real hair. Okay, or real hair that's not their hair onto their hair. Okay, this is something that men in general do not like. Okay, most men in general are scared to tell their woman, I prefer your natural hair. Okay, I don't mind if you comb it, straighten it out, or whatever like that, but long as I know that's your hair. They are scared to tell their women this, because as soon as a man tells their woman, hey, I prefer you to have natural hair, they're going to get the backlash. They're going to get yelled at. They may get slapped. Okay, they may get slapped. Okay, but this is the background. Okay, of artificial hair integrations. Okay, uh, it says background. It says hair weave is human or artificial hair utilized for the integration with one's natural hair. Because Yahweh, He gives our sisters natural hair. Okay, and also He gives, of course, men natural hair as well. It says weaves can alter one's appearance for long or short periods of time by adding further hair to one's natural hair or by covering the natural hair altogether with human or synthetic hair pieces. It says weaving additional human or synthetic pieces can enhance one's hair by giving it volume and length, and by adding color without the damage of chemicals or adopting a different hair texture than that of their own. However, hair loss can occur either along the front line, even along stock. It says, however, hair loss can occur either along the front hairline or above the ears due to the wearing of specific hairstyles for a prolonged period of time, such as weaves. So weaves can do damage to a person's hair. Okay, due to the fact of the length of time that is in the hair or how the hair weave was put into the hair. It says such hair loss is known as traction alopecia. Okay, this is what a lot of women are going through when you consider hair loss. Okay, it says by the late 17th century, wigs in various shapes and sizes became a latest fashion trend. It says hair weaves in particular did not grow interest until the 1950s. Okay, why did hair weaves not grow into interest to the 1950s? Was because, women in general was wearing natural hair back then. Okay, when you go to like the 20s, 30s, 1900, 1800, our women was wearing natural hair. Okay, but then it's going to explain in the next sentence line who was really wearing the hair weaves in the 1950s. Because in general, women of our nation, the Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, they was wearing their natural hair. But it's going to explain who was primarily wearing the weaves. It says hair weaves in particular did not grow interest until the 1950s. It says even during that time, celebrities had been the only ones using them. You see this, Israel? You see this? It says the celebrities, the movie stars, the singers, they was the ones that was primarily wearing hair weaves. The general population was not wearing hair weaves. Okay, because the women at that time was focusing on getting men, because men primarily don't like women wearing fake hair. And this is why the marriage rate, of course, was more higher up, because women were catering to what the men wanted. Okay, it says when the long disco haired era evolved, there became a widespread use of hair weave, because when you had the disco era, that's when you go into your late 70s. Okay, your late 70s is when you had the disco era, and also the early 1980s, because that was the party scene thing. Okay, there was no more focus on marriage to a certain degree, because it was a party, drug lifestyle in this time frame period. Okay, this is when the hair weaves really took off in the late 70s, early 1980s. It says since that era, hair weave has only become more popular. It says most human hair weaves come from Asian countries like India and China. So these other nations profit off our sisters. Okay, so again, Israel, we should not learn the ways of the heathen. We should not follow the doctrines and the philosophies of these other nations. Okay, and also this is an example. It says final product of fully installed human hair weave extensions. So this is something what an extension would somewhat look like. This is not how natural hair. Okay, the Bible promotes being natural. Okay, and this class lesson is to prove to our sisters, when you go outside the laws of the Most High, and when you go outside the understanding of the Most High on a spiritual level, you leave your men. Okay, Uh, let's go to, it says ancient queens, because many of our sisters say, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. But when you go through history, the queens were of the other nations, as you can see. Queen of ancient Egypt, Nefertiti, Tamaris, Queen of Masagadi, all these different queens, Queen Cleopatra, ancient Egypt. You don't see no Israelite women over here. Okay, as far as being queens. Now, you did have Queen Esther situation, but she was in captivity. She was somewhat basically forced to be a queen, basically, okay, by another nation. And we're going to explain that history in the Holy Bible in this class lesson. And then also the inventor, we have this lady named Christina Jenkins, is the African American hairdresser who invented the hair weave. So she was the one that somewhat started it in the 1950s as far as being a trend. Okay, this is a sister. Okay, because before then, the sisters wasn't gravitating to no hair weaves because they was wearing natural hair back then. It says, according to Black America Web, it says Christina Mae Jenkins was born Christmas Day in 1920. Although there are conflicting dates regarding her day of birth, we know that she was born in Louisiana and that she graduated from Leyland College near Baton Rouge. Christina graduated with a degree in science in 1943. It says Christina Jenkins worked with a wig making company where she figured out an alternative way of attaching hair without the use of chemicals or heat, because back then and even now wigs would always fall off the customer. So Christina wanted to invent something differently where, the women didn't have to wear wigs or didn't have to put chemicals to straighten their hair and stuff like that, or do some heat type of mechanism to straighten women's hair. So she came up with a different method. Okay, it says Christina came up with the idea of attaching the hair to a net and then sew the hair onto the client's head using cornrows as a base. She called the technique the hair weave. Okay, she then moved to Malvern, Ohio, and began studying how sewing in commercial hair with a person's natural hair added length and body. So she was the one that pushed it in the 50s. It says Jenkins owned and operated her Christina's Hair Weave Penthouse Salon in the Shaker Heights section of Cleveland until 1993. So this is what this sister was promoting for our sisters to wear hair weaves. Okay. Okay, but before they was not doing this. Okay. Let's go back. It says, did you know? It said Jenkins owned and operated her Christina's Hair Weave Penthouse Salon in the Shaker Heights section of Cleveland until 1993. She also taught her hair weaving techniques at her hair shows across Europe. Jenkins was married to jazz pianist Herman Duke Jenkins and raised one daughter together. Miss Sheila Jenkins Cochran. Okay, it says there is some dispute over Jenkins' claim to the hair weave, as some historians stated that the techniques was used in a similar fashion dating back to ancient Egypt. You see this, Israel? All these things, understanding that we follow, go back to Egypt just about. The late Ohio U.S. Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones commended Jenkins for her invention and praised her for her revolutionary contribution. Okay, so I brought this out to let our people know that, this is what primarily our sisters are following after, because a sister introduced it to us, in the 50s. But again, in general, our sisters wasn't with this program. It says in 1951, Jenkins filed a patent for her hair weave technique, which was granted in 1952. The patent specifically described the technique as permanently attaching commercial hair to live hair. So Israel, this is not of the Most High, because Most High gave you hair, sisters, for a reason, okay, to have naturally. Let's go down. It says interweaving strands of live hair and strands of commercial hair with cord-like material to permanently join the strands there too. Even though Jenkins was granted the patent in 1952. It was challenged through litigation and overturned in 1965 because they realized she wasn't the one that really invented it. It already existed. It says there is some dispute over Jenkins' claim to the hair weave, as some historians stated that the technique was used in a similar fashion dating back to ancient Egypt. Okay, so let's go down. It said with Christina Jenkins died at the age of 82 in 2003. The late Ohio U.S. Congresswoman Stephanie Tube Jones commended Jenkins for her invention, calling her a pioneer in the field of cosmetology, and her invention of the hair weave a revolutionary contribution that was helped to boost the self-esteem of men and women across the world. And we know in general that hair weave does not boost the confidence. It puts on a different spirit vibration on our sisters when they do wear these things. Okay, changes the attitude, it changes the look and appearance of our sisters. Okay, so this class lesson is not necessarily humiliation to our sisters. This is a class lesson to be edifying for our sisters to know how to come from worldly understanding to now come to the spiritual understanding. Okay, this is what this Bible is about. It's about renewing your mind. It's about overcoming your demons, overcoming the things of this world, putting their foolishness off from the world, and now coming to this Hebrew truth. Okay, so when people see you, they see the light of the Most High in you, without those fake things that you attach to yourself, because that's not you. Okay, Yahweh made you special for a reason. Okay, so in general, when you look at the show or this movie that was called Baps that came out in 1996, right? They had a movie with Halle Berry and Natalie Desilets. They played these two women characters, and in the movie you'll see these two women wearing wigs and hair weaves, extensions, and stuff like that in the film. And this is how society, basically says this is how our sisters act when they dress this type of way. So the whole objective of this lesson is to get our women to get out of that understanding of like the BAPS situation and get on a more Hebrew custom situation to get to the spiritual side. Okay, because this is what society says, this is how these women act. But in general, when you talk to these women that do have hair weaves and extensions and stuff like that, they are educated women of our nation. Okay, but this is the stereotype that comes with the influence of hair weaves and extension. That's the understanding that the world knows us as being. Okay, knows as basically our sisters as being loud, can't tell them nothing, have to be the center of attention, very boastful. That's what type of vibration comes with hair weaves and extension and wigs. Okay, and then when you watch this movie called I'm Going to Get You Sucker that came out in 1988, and the star of the movie was named Keenan Ivory Wayans. Okay, and he played a role where he was in a club situation and he seen an attractive woman named I think her name is Annie Johnson. And in the film, it's just crazy how this film came out in the 80s, and now you see similarities of today what men are experiencing. Okay, in the film, Annie Johnson, she didn't have anything real on. Like, she had the fake hair, she had the fake nails, she had the fake leg, the fake butt, fake breasts, and stuff like that. And then it scared Keenan Ivory Wayans. Why did it scare him? Because men in general don't like fake things on our women. It's not attractive. So when you go to the other movies of today, like your Tyler Perry films, the movies that our brothers portray as drag queens, right? Or they portray themselves as a woman, they actually are getting on the woman, meaning making fun of our sisters that wear these things. Okay, because men don't like, in general, women wearing these things. Now, you will have some men that will go along with it because they're not vocal enough to really speak it, because they know as soon as they say something about, hey, I prefer you to be in your real natural hair, natural this, natural that, they're going to get cursed at and slapped. Because this class lesson it can turn a woman to go crazy, because you're going to see the spirits come out in this video. in this class lesson. You're going to see the spirits come out like this. You see that, Israel? The spirit's going to come out when these sisters watch this video, because like I said, all my videos are spiritual. It's all going to be biblical. It's going to be matched up with facts. It's not going to be made up. Okay? This is all biblical. And we're going to prove it through this video today. Okay? So other than that, Israel, get your pen and pad out. Get your lessons ready that you already studied, because this is how you learn. Okay? You know, of course, you got to put away the understanding of the world and come to the spiritual understanding. Okay, Israel? So this class lesson is going to be good for our sisters to learn, and also our brothers to learn too as well, so we can become a better nation. Okay, right now we're about to get into this movie clip called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, where you have Keenen Ivory Wayans and the lady named Annie Johnson in this film, coming together in this film as a comedy. Okay, so when you watch this film, you're going to take your notes. You're going to realize Hebrew men don't like our sisters wearing fake stuff. Okay, so just check this video out. Okay, Israel, shalom.
What you see down at the end of the bar there? That is for being laid.
She's going over here.
Be cool. Sit down. Be cool.
Okay.
Let her do the talking.
Hi. My name's Cherry. What's yours?
Jack.
Jack. That's such a strong sounding name. Jack. Do you find me attractive?
Oh, yeah. I was just wondering, what are you doing in a place like this?
Looking for Mr. Right. And I think I might have just found him.
Why?
Well, any man with such a strong name and strong body probably has exactly what I need.
What's that?
12 inches.
12 inches. Well, I guess I do.
Well, hello, Mr. Right. Say, Jack, hey, I've got a place just around the corner. Let's say we get out of here.
Oh, I don't know. I'm here with my friend, and we got business.
No problem. I got plenty of time. Help yourself. I'll just sit here and wait for Sam.
Oh, shoot me, hurt me. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. Baby, give me all the 12 inches.
Oh, 12.
Now.
12.
Now. Now.
The 12.
Yeah, that's good.
We gotta.
Ooh, that's good.
We gotta talk about the 12. 12. Yeah, about those 12 inches. Well, I lied. I really don't have 12 inches.
No?
I hope I didn't disappoint you.
Well, I have a confession to make, too.
Really?
My eyes, aren't really green. You know what else?
Another secret.
This is nice in the summer. Oh, wait. I am glad to get these off.
No, not that. Not the tits. Please tell me that.
They're not even the right color. This voluptuous ass of mine. Guys, always get a kick out of this one. Wait. Oh, God, I feel so much better. I know you do, too.
Look. Ooh. Woo. Hey. You. Ooh.
No way.
I have got to.
Oh, please, Jack, honey, come on. Don't make me hop after you. Come on, baby.
Shalom, 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 Israel. This is Captain Paul Israel from Kingdom Builders of Israel LLC, and today's class topic is going to be on modern Hebrew women prefer to being single. Again, today's class topic is going to be on modern Hebrew women prefer to being single. Again, Israel, this is a class topic to discuss due to the fact that many of our Hebrew women of today, they prefer to being single because right now society in general is promoting a single mother vibration or a single woman vibration, okay, to our Hebrew women, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women of today, okay, and to, you know, remove that single philosophy of independence from a man, from our Hebrew women, we have to open up this Bible and to get edified on truth. Okay, we have to turn off the television. We have to turn off as far as the philosophy of this world from our sisters' minds. And now our sisters in general, our Hebrew sisters, the blacks and Hispanics and Native American women of today, they have to now get their minds centered on how to obtain a man. Okay, society in general are promoting our sisters not to be with a man. Okay, the government also is pushing our women to not be dependent on a man. Okay, so we know the government got things in place to help bring a separation or a division into our sisters' homes. Okay, because society in general knows it's good for a male and a female to be in one house. Okay, that's how you have good offspring, meaning you provide good nourishment for the next generation. Okay, statistically. Okay, so we have to look at the statistics and say they know 2-parent households is what makes the community better. Okay, because you have 2 parents able to govern the house, because one person is in the house governing a child, the child's not able to see good relationship between male and female. They're not able to see the positive results from a marriage situation. Okay, so in actuality, it promotes togetherness when you have a 2-parent household. Or women in general are painting this picture as saying, oh, being single is the way to go. Hot girl summer is the way to go. But that's not the way to go. Okay, so we're going to open up this Bible to get edified. And of course, the video that you seen prior before this lesson, where you had one of the Wayans brothers, right? You know, like I think his name is Keenen Ivory Wayans. Keenen Ivory Wayans had played in this movie called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. And in the movie, you saw a sister in the movie. Not sure what her name was, but you had a sister in the movie where she promoted, just to be somebody to have sex with, from a bar perspective. Because when men go to a club or anything, they see like a sexy woman, they just want to smash and not take into consideration marriage. But the woman in the video, as you seen prior, before we get to the lesson, she portrayed herself not a wife. She portrayed herself as a person to just have fun with for that one night, or basically like a one night stand. And this is what primarily modern Hebrew women of today are promoting: one night stands. Okay? And this is why 1 out of 4 black Hebrew women, or in general Hispanic and Native American women, 1 out of 4 of them will obtain marriage from a Hebrew man. Okay? It's all because the promotion of our sisters, they're not promoting marriage. They're promoting one night stands primarily, or fun time. Okay? So when you look at the film, the particular man, Keenan Ivory Wayans, he did not understand that this woman was not who she presented herself to be. And that's many cases that our Hebrew men are realizing, because they see on social media the body, the face and everything like that, the makeup, and then when they get in reality dealing with the person don't look the way how they present themselves on social media. Okay, and men are not taking those relationships seriously. They only interested in one thing: sex. You know, how do we stop the whoredom or the fornication philosophy that's been promoted on our people? Women have to be real. Okay, men are going to respect you when you're being real. So in the video you saw, Keenan Ivory Wayans, he wasn't honest himself, because the presentation for honesty was not there, because the sister wanted something that was very lustful, for a man to have a certain size or package in order for her to deal with him sexually. So he came with her with fakeness. Oh yeah, I got what you're looking for. But really he didn't. Okay? But he faked it, because men are going to go off in general whatever that woman is putting out. So if she's putting out fakeness, overly sexualized vibration, men are going to put that off too, because men are logical thinkers. So when it came time for them to go to the room or the hotel room or wherever they went to, you know, when it was time to be honest, the man said, you know what, I don't have what you thought I had in size wise, you know. And then she said, you know what, I'm going to be honest too. You know, this hair I have is not real. You know, all these things that I showed you was not real. My breast wasn't real. Basically my cleavage wasn't real. My butt area wasn't real. And this scared this man. He ran up out of there. And the leg that she had was a prosthetic leg. He ran up out of there with the quickness. And this is why men are not buying into the modern Hebrew women understanding. They're running away from the modern Hebrew women for reasons, because the modern Hebrew women prefer to be single. And the reason why I did this lesson is because when you put single understanding mentality out there, it's not far as being truthful and honest to Hebrew men. Men are not going to buy into it. Okay, men are going to run away from that. Okay, men have to now start being honest with these women now. We don't accept fakeness. So if you put out that fake vibration, you're going to get fakeness in return. So this whole lesson is to get our women to understand that men are going to go off whatever you putting out on the earth, ladies. If you want marriage, present yourself for marriage. Present yourself and be in the right place for marriage. As you can see, where was this lady located in the video? She was not in the right place for marriage. She was at the bar by herself, by the way, you know, requesting sexual advances. But she did not say, hey, I'm looking for a husband. You know, she wasn't in the right venue for a husband. When you look at that Cinderella movie, where did Cinderella go to get Prince Charming? She went to a nice ballroom. She didn't go to no club late night by herself. She went to a ballroom where you had presentable candidates, men that had high value, that was looking for wives. Okay, you don't go to places where the promotion of marriage is not there. Okay, and then thinking that you're going to get different results. No, you have to change the venues that you're going to. You basically have to change the venues where you're going to get marriage, basically. Okay, so we're going to start out in the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 26, because we have to get the understanding on a spiritual level, ladies, on how to be a lady according to Yahweh, so you can get a good man. So you can now attract a good man. Okay. This Proverbs chapter 31, verse 26. It says, she opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. You see this, Israel? You see this, you Hebrew women? It's a law of kindness for you women. When you look majority at our sisters, are they keeping this law? No, they're not. They're not coming with kindness. They coming with more contention, argumentative, complainers, and they supposed to have wisdom of this Bible. Because again, modern Hebrew women don't have wisdom of this Bible. It's evident because the women back in the 40s and 50s and 30s, they somewhere had knowledge and principles of the Bible. That's why men in general were getting married at a 3 to 4 situation, 3 out of 4 situation, versus now 1 out of the 4, Hebrew women are getting married. But in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s, men were jumping to the occasion for marriage. And then you look at your grandparents in general, they were married for like 30, 40, 50 years. Now today, majority of our women are not basically getting married. Why? Because they're not applying the laws of God. Okay? The Hebrew men are dealing with women that do not keep the laws of God. This is in the Bible, the Old Testament. Let me read this one more time. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 26. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. So many of our sisters that promote fake situations as far as fake presentations, meaning not wearing their true hair, right? Because men value honesty. Men value truth. Men want their women to be honest with them. Men want to see your real hair. Men want to see your real nails. Men want to see you. Okay, the society of today are promoting our women to only be catered to other women, because other women in general care about their nails, care about the hair situation as far as being fake hair and all this. If men in general want their women to be honest, want their women to be truthful, but women are now promoting a whole different doctrine, saying, no, I can come to this man will have to accept my fake hair, my fake nails, my personality is fake, my butt is fake, my breast is fake, and all this other stuff. This is what women are coming with, but men do not care about these things. And this is why a majority of these women are single, because they are promoting a single state of mind. Men value honesty, purity, and just you being honest with yourself. But because women are promoting fakeness, they're going to get fake results from men that just want to hit it and quit it. And in general, society understands people refer to what? Honesty, not fakeness. Okay, so if men in general don't like all that fake stuff from women, why are you women of today, giving these men these things? Most men would deal with it for a time being, but eventually they're going to go. They're going to be gone. Okay, so Hebrew women got to have the tongue of the law of kindness, because with these women that's wearing these fake stuff, it comes with a tongue of not kindness. It comes to a tongue of arrogance, pridefulness, and so forth. And this is what this lesson is for, is to get the women to have a marriage mind. Okay? Women, if you want to be married, you Hebrew women, you have to promote righteousness. You have to promote truthfulness. Okay? 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8. It's the New Testament. It says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. So again, ladies, man is not of the woman, but you women are of the man. So if men like realness from women, you have to do what, ladies? You have to bring realness to the table like your foremothers did. Okay, your foremothers brought realness to the man. Now today, men can't trust the women because the women primarily are bringing fakeness to the table. Okay? You have to do what the men want to get the man, ladies. You cannot do your own thing, independent lifestyle, and think you're going to keep a man. Okay? Because men in general have options. Okay? Men in general have plenty of options because there is more women in the world than men. And the primary reason for life itself is a man to be with a woman to produce children. Okay? To bring in the next generation. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 9. It says, neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. So the woman was created for the man. This is in the Bible. So if the woman of today is created primarily for the man, why is the Hebrew women promoting themselves to be independent from their man? Because if men don't like that fake stuff, we prefer real. Why are the women pushing this understanding of fakeness to the table and thinking men are going to accept it? It's because there's a different agenda to destroy the household for the Hebrew family. And it's been pushed by the other nations primarily. Okay? Men prefer realness, not fakeness. In general, if you look at Kim Kardashian's situation, many women, Hebrew women, are following this so-called white man philosophy of fakeness, but it comes primarily from these white women pushing it. Like the lady, the celebrity called Kim Kardashian. She promotes fakeness all day, every day. Fake face, fake body, and all this other stuff by having all these plastic surgeries. But yet she can't keep a man. Why? Because men prefer realness. Okay? So why follow a pattern that majority does not work to keep a man, ladies? Okay? Because in general, she has all that money, wealth, but she cannot obtain a man. Okay? And then in actuality, Kanye West was not even supposed to be dealing with this white woman in the first place. But I'm just giving key examples that men prefer real women in general. Not that fake stuff, because fake stuff costs money. Fake stuff costs money, and it's an actual expense because it's not of God. Because nature itself, is free. But these high maintenance, the upkeep, fakeness, men don't want to pay that bill. You know what I'm saying? Men do not want to pay a bill that's not truthful. That's an extra expense. And these how men think. I'm telling you, this is how men think. So when they see a woman with long fingernails, fake hair, they already know they're going to get attitude. These are facts. Okay, now we're going to go to the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 1. And Philippians is going into the people of Philippi. If you go to Philippi, it says was a major Greek city northwest of the nearby island Thasos. Okay, it's a Greek city. So Apostle Paul is talking to our people living in this Greek city, Philippi. And this is the people that was there, living there, were known as the Philippians. Okay, it says Philippians chapter 4, verse 1. Therefore, my brethren, dearly beloved and longed for, my joy and crown. So stand fast in Yahweh, my dearly beloved. So this is Apostle Paul talking to the men in Philippi. Philippians chapter 4, verse 2. I beseech Euodias and beseech Sinch that they be of the same mind in Yahweh. So he wanted these particular two gentlemen to be what? On the same mind, same page, same understanding about this Hebrew truth. Philippians chapter 4, verse 3. This is the point. And I entreat thee also, true yokefellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers, whose names are in the book of life. So Apostle Paul was key on help those women which labored with me in the gospel. Meaning, cater to these women that are in this Hebrew truth, that takes this truth seriously, because the ones that walk with me to help my ministry, their names are in the book of life. And these women that Apostle Paul was addressing, guess what? These women knew to be around Hebrew men that was in the truth, because they wanted to inherit everlasting life. Okay, so this is even in the Greek city. So you still had women in another territory still applying what was written in the Bible to help this Hebrew truth ministry. So that's the same way of today. Hebrew women of today have to get the understanding of this Bible. Okay. So this is why this video is very essential to the salvation of you Black, Hispanics, and Native American women of today. Okay. Because many of the modern day Hebrew women of today, they don't have no understanding of this Bible. Neither do they care to. Okay. Let's go to and also, if you look at this picture in Philippi, which was a Greek city, what you think this woman has on? She has a dress on. See, women back in ancient times didn't wear pants. Okay. They wore modest apparel. Modest apparel. Okay. So this is just proof in Philippi. If you go down, this is where I got the picture from right over here. So women wore dresses. Okay. In general. Okay. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31, verse 26. It says, she opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness, which we brought out before. Okay. So women supposed to have a tongue of kindness. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 16. It says, a gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. Meaning violent men, or men of stature, or men that's very violent, can get their riches by harming somebody, basically. Or they can get it by, obtaining certain wealth by other means necessary. Okay, but it said a gracious woman. This is the point. A gracious woman retaineth honor. So we have to find out, what is gracious? What does that mean? We're going to go into it. It says gracious. The definition: a mark by kindness and courtesy, characterized by charm, good taste, generosity of spirit, and the tasteful leisure of wealth, and good breeding. Good breeding. Okay. So good breeding. So Israel, when you look at the modern day women of today, the Hebrew women of today, are they doing good breeding? No, they're not, because they're not coming with the mindset for marriage. They come with the mindset of, yes, I will have a baby by him, but to be tied down to one man, that's not happening. So that's why I did this video where it says modern Hebrew women prefer to being single. Okay, because if they prefer to be wives, they will have good breeding, because they will be having a 2-parent household situation going on. Okay, and they will choose better quality of men. They won't choose the men that don't have it together mentally, because again, we're going to get that understanding out of the Bible on what type of men they supposed to choose, of course. But they supposed to do good breeding. This is what gracious means. Okay. And then it says marked by tact and delicacy. And it says pleasing, acceptable, and it says godly. So our women of today supposed to act godly. Okay. Then you go to breeding. It says the action. This definition of breeding says the action or process of bearing or generating. So let's see. Yeah. So generating, of course, giving birth. Okay, so giving birth to a good foundation. Modern Hebrew women of today are not doing that. Okay, let's go to Proverbs chapter 11, verse 17. It says, the merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel trouble his own flesh. Because when you look at, in general, modern Hebrew women of today, they are cruel to the Hebrew man in general. Because if they were good, right? If they were good, you would see a good outcomes. Okay? They said, but he that is cruel trouble his own flesh. So that's when you're going to go through problems, ladies, because you are being cruel to the men who you say you want to be married to. Okay? But you have to be honest with yourself. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 3. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 3. It says, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel. So again, this is just getting to the point where our sisters not primarily supposed to just focus on the outer appearance, because when you see our sisters focusing always on the outer appearance, meaning fake nails, the hair, fake hair extensions, and all this other stuff, just to be seen by other people. It's not all about this. Okay, it's all about the inward person, who you are as a person. Your inward person will reflect your outer. Basically, that's what it's getting into. Not saying that women can't wear gold and get their hair braided and stuff like that, but focus on truth, focus on a more quieter spirit. Let's go to say 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 4. It says, but let it be the hidden man of heart in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Elohim of great price. So again, it's supposed to be the hidden man. So when you sisters are wearing things that's just to be seen on your outward appearance like that, like the long extension nails, it comes with a different type of spirit. It's not quiet. So usually when men see women with these things or with these characteristics, with the fake hair, the fake nails, and so forth, y'all come with more of an attitude. Y'all come with a different vibration than the spirit that's written in this Bible. It says meek and quiet spirit. That's not primarily the spirit and vibration that many of these sisters that have the long extension nails, as far as being fake nails, and then the fake hair come with. They come mostly with attitudes. Okay? They come mostly with attitudes. And these are facts. And then it says 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 9. In like manner also, the women adorn themselves in modest apparel. In modest apparel. Modest apparel meaning a woman not showing all that she has. So when women get the fake breasts, the fake butt situation going on, that's not showing a form of modesty. Okay? Be natural. It said with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. So you cannot be a boaster, because these things and these attributes of the women, modern day women, are boastful, cater and promoting themselves amongst other women. Yes, women, you can get your nails done. Just get your nails painted. Keep your natural nails. That's what men want. Men prefer natural stuff. These are facts. Okay, because we want to know the real you, ladies. And then too, it helps save our pockets. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be a benefit to the man. But having these fake things costs money, extra money, more than natural. You keep your natural hair, you pay less money. You keep your natural nails, you pay less money. Okay. In general, it says adorn themselves with modest apparel. So women supposed to be wearing dresses, modest apparel dresses, not the tight fitting bodycon skirts and dresses that show your curves and everything like that, because that's not modest. Modest is like maxi dresses and so forth. The ones that don't show your figure. Okay, less revealing. This is what the Bible requires our women to be like. This is what promotes our women to being married. So when you have the sobriety mind, the shamefaced mind, and all these things, and you take away all these extra fake stuff on top of that, you take away all this, you're now showing men that you want to be married. Okay? And you're wearing modest apparel, meaning you're not available for every man. It's showing decency. So men are going to go off that vibration of positivity, faithfulness. They're going to respect that. Okay? Let's go to the history of artificial nails, the fake nails. Okay, we're going to go to the history of it. It says artificial nails, also known as fake nails. So I didn't just come up with the term fake nails. It says are extensions placed over fingernails as fashion accessories. Okay. Then it says some artificial nail designs attempt to mimic the appearance of real fingernails as closely as possible, while others may deliberately stray in favor of an artistic look. It said unlike most manicures, artificial nails, meaning fake nails, require regular upkeep. See, it says it is recommended that they are attended to on average every 2 weeks. However, they may last up to about 1 month. Nonetheless, their versatility in terms of shape, size, and design, and comparatively high durability are some advantages they hold over other types of manicures. So again, it's a regular upkeep. That's an expense. See, Hebrew men in general don't want to keep paying unnecessary expenses for fake stuff. See, this is how men think. You're supposed to be a benefit to the man. Okay? So in general, if you know this is a regular upkeep expense every 2 weeks, just about, when you can wear your natural nails and don't have to worry about the upkeep on it because you have natural nails. You don't have to get it done every 2 weeks because you are wearing your real nails. But when we go down the history of these things, it goes back to the other nations. The other nations did these fake nails and all this stuff. This is how our ladies are learning these things. The word of fake products and so forth. The other nations make money off our Hebrew women in general. Okay, it's a history. It said historically, artificial nails were common symbols of status all across the world. So this is of the world standard. This is not of the Bible. Okay, Hebrew women of today got to follow this Bible. It says during the Ming Dynasty of China, noble women wore very long artificial nails as a status symbol, indicating that unlike commoners, they did not have to do manual labor. So they wore them long nails to show people, hey, I got a high status. I don't have, as a lady in China, they didn't have to do what? Do manual labor, work in the fields and so forth. They was mainly in the house. And then it says in early 19th century Greece, upper class women often wore empty pistachio shells over their nails, slowly spreading the artificial nail trend across Europe. So in history as well, they used to put pistachio shells as to make it as a fake nail. Okay, this is what the Greeks did. Okay, or I guess Greece in general, but I'm still going to term in Greeks because that's the so-called white man. Okay, but it said in early 19th century. Okay, the early 19th century. Okay, and then it says ancient Egyptian women wore nail extensions made from bone, ivory, and gold as a sign of status, as these materials were luxuries available only to the wealthy. So again, all these customs of fake nails, fake hair, and all this stuff, this comes from the other nations. This is not something that's biblical. Because why? No, we, the children of Israel, are supposed to love ourselves. Be truthful to ourselves. That's what the Bible says. That's what the Bible promotes. So that's why men, Hebrew men, don't like these things. Because it's not of God. It's not resonating with our spirit. Why? Because we are the gods of this earth. We are holy people. Holy people don't wear fake stuff as far as fake products, as far as concerning over things that's supposed to be already natural coming from us, like with hair, also with nails. That's natural. That comes naturally from the Most High to give to us that naturally have. Okay, so Israel never wanted to do these things. This is something that was taught to us by the other nations. Okay, that's being promoted to our women that make them bugged out in the mind. Okay, it says 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 11. It says, even so must their wives be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. Faithful in all things. So this is in the book of Timothy. Okay, so Paul says, even so must their wives be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. So we got to know what these definitions mean. Okay, so let's go to grave. What does grave mean? Okay, grave. It said meriting a serious consideration, likely to produce great harm or danger, significantly serious. So we supposed to be serious in general about life. So our women supposed to be serious about this Hebrew truth. Okay. Then it says not slanderers, talking about gossipers and complainers and so forth, sober, not drunk. Right. And then it said faithful in all things. So now let's go to the word faithful. Okay. Faithful. Because we want to get this truth, because it said 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 11 said, even so must their wives be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. Faithful in all things. So we got to get the definition of faithful. Okay, this is definition of basically faithful. It says steadfast in affection or allegiance, right? Allegiance meaning loyal. So when you look at the modern Hebrew women of today wearing all these fake things, are they primarily loyal to their husband or loyal to the man they want to be potential husband? And the answer would be no. Okay. It says firm in adherence to promises or in observance of duty. So what is the duty of a woman? The duty of a woman, according to this Bible, is to be a helpmate unto the man. Okay. But the modern Hebrew women of today are not doing that. Okay. They're not doing their duty. Their duty primarily now is to be independent of the man. Okay. Another one. It says given with strong assurance, binding. So men that get with these women, they're not coming to the understanding of assurance. If this woman is going to be around, if I fall on hard times, because soon as a man fall on hard times, primarily that woman is gone, or she's kicking him out the house. Okay, for another man or possibly another woman. Okay. Go down. It says, now this is another definition of faithful. Okay, it says true to the facts, to a standard, or to an original. Uh-oh. You see this? It says true to the facts, to a standard. Standard. So when you look at modern women of today, they don't have standards according to this Holy Bible. Their standards is of the world, which was taught to them by the other nations. And then it says to an original, to an original. So faithfulness is original. It's truth. It's facts. It's a standard. So men in general want the original. They don't want the fake. They don't want the fake butt. They don't want the breasts. They don't want these fake things, fake eyelashes and all. They want the real, the original. So faithfulness is original, and faithfulness is a standard. And faithful is true to the facts. So men want truth. And that's how you build a nation off of truth. And this is what this Hebrew truth is about, is building a nation to truth. Because when you start off a lie, it builds in chaos. Okay? It says obsolete, full of faith. So our sisters are supposed to have faith. Okay? But the key point I wanted to get, it says to an original. So faith goes into the original. So faith goes to the beginning. Not something that's fake or a copy of something that's fake. No. Okay? So when modern women of today, you have to go back to the original on what worked to get you a Hebrew man for marriage. Okay? That's where your faith is going to lie in between what? Because your faith saying, I'm going to be myself to get me a godly man. I don't have to put on fake things to portray a certain life or a certain image to get the man that I'm trying to get. Because those things don't work. Because what was working for y'all Hebrew women in times past was being yourself, being original. Okay? Not this fake stuff. And also it was an incident recently where you had a bunch of women going to like I believe Brazil or something like that, or Dominican Republic, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Dominican Republic, and they was getting butt enhancements. Our sisters was traveling over there, and if you looked at the airport, you seen a bunch of women in what appeared to be like wheelchairs situation, lined up returning back to America, you know, from getting butt surgery or butt enhancement implants. Okay, because that's the message that's being taught to our sisters. Oh, men want these fake butts. That's how you get your husband. But that's not true, ladies. Men prefer realness, because these fake butts you're getting cost money to maintain. And then you have accidents, and these things can develop into health problems. Okay, we've seen this go on with our Hispanic women, and also a Native Indian women, and also American black women. Okay, because they have been told and sold a lie. Okay, they've been sold and told a lie, just like that one Hispanic sister named Jocelyn Cano. Okay, she thought by enhancing her body, she would get results to getting a husband or to live that American dream philosophy. And what she got in the end, she became what? She ended up dying from complications with those type of body enhancement surgeries. And now her children, or I believe she had 2 children or 1 child, if I recall, now don't have a mother. All because Jocelyn Cano was catering to worldly standards of lies. So that's what faithfulness is supposed to have. Truth, facts. Okay, and that's why I like what this dictionary says, you know, as far as when the word faithful, it says to an original. So the Bible promotes originality, being yourself. That's why it says faithful in all things. Be original, be yourself, be true to yourself in all things, in other words. So when you're putting on fake stuff, as far as fake enhancements that your body naturally is not looking like, you're not being faithful in all things. Okay, this is what the Bible promotes: being faithful, being true. Okay, this is the book of Ephesians chapter 6 verse 6. It says, not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Yeshua HaMashiach, doing the will of Elohim from the heart. So we're not supposed to be doing things to please other men or to please other women in life in general. But these Hebrew women of today, these modern Hebrew women today, they're doing things to please other women with these long eyelashes, long fingernails, and so forth. That's not natural. Okay, it's not for the men, because men don't care about those things. So why are the Hebrew women of today catering mostly to women? And this is why most Hebrew women of today don't know Hebrew men, because the vibration is women in general are focusing on other women. So when it comes time for relationships, it's a combative situation, because women are arguing with the men because the men don't understand the women understanding. Because men don't care about these long fake nails, long fake eyelashes, long fake hair. They don't care about these things. Okay? So we supposed to please the Most High, and he wants our sisters to be faithful. So forth to the point where he wants you to be in your original. Okay? The Bible promotes truth.